Hello, you know what that means. Come on in. This is Preschool Storytime with Miss Margaret from the Chattanooga Public Library. It's for children 3 to 5-year-olds, but if you're younger or older, come on in. I'd love to have you. Today we're talking about dinosaurs, and this is a very old dinosaur puppet I have. Isn't he handsome? He's very handsome. He's got teeth and a tongue, but he's not scary. No, kind of looks like a T-Rex, doesn't he? Yeah, I think a lot of people like dinosaurs. I'm going to start with a new book. Library Books Are Not for Eating by Todd Tarpley. Oh, look at the dinosaur and look at the holes in the books. Oh my goodness! That's supposed to be there though. And the book is put out by Random House. Guess what? She's a librarian. Library books are not for eating. Does that look like me? She's got glasses. By Todd Tarpley. Are you ready? The day Mrs. Bronte came to school, story time was extra cool. She told great jokes, was never mean, biggest smile you'd ever seen. One small problem, couldn't beat it. Once she read a book, she'd eat it. She'd say the end, you'd hear a crunch, then 3 or 4 more books by lunch. Mrs. Bronte, kids would keep repeating, library books are not for eating. Mrs. Bronte promised with a roar that she'd be eating books no more. But soon as story time was done, oops, there'd go another one. Ooh, just a little bite. Mrs. McSmartly called her in. Mrs. Bronte, where do I begin? You're eating books. That isn't right. You need to curb your appetite. I think you know where this is leading. Library books are not for what? Eating. Mrs. Bronte promised with a roar that she'd be eating books no more. When Mrs. McSmartly turned her head, she ate up all her books instead. Oh, she's just gobbling them down. At lunchtime, when she ate 2 more, the lunchroom lady stomped the floor. Mrs. Bronte, you must change your diet. Books taste yucky, don't deny it. Instead of books, try something new. My cottage cheese and meatball stew. We've got to rearrange your feeding. Library books are not for eating. Mrs. Bronte promised with a roar that she'd be eating books no more. She took one bite of cottage cheese, then ate all 3 books of recipes. Woo! She took a walk to clear her head. Down to the soccer field she'd fled. Coach Burley blew his whistle loudly, pointing to his players proudly. I've got problems of my own, a soccer field that's overgrown. Can't mow the grass, can't pick the weeds. You're not the only one with needs. Be a winner, no more cheating. Library books are not for eating. Mrs. Bronte promised with a roar that she'd be eating books no more. But as Coach Burley turned his gaze, she ate his book of soccer plays. Mrs. Bronte packed her bags that day. I'm sorry, but I cannot stay. It's not that I find books so yummy, but nothing else here fills my tummy. If I could find a bulb or a seed, a blade of grass, a bush, a weed. Suddenly her plan was clear. She'd make the wild weeds disappear. All she had to do was eat them. Let her appetite defeat them. All over the soccer field. Now Miss Bronte just eats weeds. They fill her dietary needs. The soccer team has gone unbeaten. Not a single book's been eaten. Every morning right at 9, Mrs. Bronte leads story time. And every afternoon at 4, she's on the sidelines keeping score. The soccer field is good as new. Kids run and kick where weeds once grew. The moral of this tale you're reading. Oops. Library books are not for eating. A happy tale this might have been, but then they hired Mr. Finn. The end is a shark. What is he gonna do? I don't know. That's a good question. Look at all these books that have been bitten. Oh, I like that book. I like Todd Talkley's books. Did you like that one? Okay. Now I'm going to read Crunch, the Shy Dinosaur by Cyril Dunlap. And Miss Brooke, when the boys and girls are supposed to say something, will you say it?
Sure.
Okay. And they know when it's to. This is kind of something where you read it with me. Crunch, the Shy Dinosaur. And it's put out by Random House. This is Crunch. Crunch is shy, so you'll have to be the first to say hello. Go on, say hello.
Hello.
Oh my, you said it too loudly. Crunch seems to have run off. Do you see him anywhere? He likes the happy birthday song. Do you know that song? If you sing it, maybe he'll come out.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Crunch. Happy birthday to you. Good job. It worked. He's out. He loves birthdays because someone has one every day. He loves days in general. He's very positive. Try to say hello again.
Hello.
You can try it quietly so you don't scare him. You did. Hello. That was too quiet. But he's gotten uncomfortably close to you. Try it one more time in a nice, medium-sounding voice.
Hello.
Bold but gentle. Perfect! You can tell he liked that because he's an appropriate distance from you and also because he put on his most fun hat and is dancing. Now you can tell him your name. Say it clearly so he can paint it on that big rock. He loves painting names. Okay, say your name.
Miss Brooke.
Miss Brooke. You did a good job. There's your name, perfectly painted. You can't see it because it's behind a big pile of leaves. Say, thank you, Crunch.
Thank you, Crunch.
Good job, everybody. Your voice startled him. He jumped up a tree. Maybe now would be a good time to be very quiet and very still and see if he climbs back down. Good job being so quiet and still. Sometimes it's important to let shy dinosaurs come to you at their own pace. Crunch is tired from all the climbing and painting and socializing. You can remind him he should go to sleep by saying, "Good night, Crunch."
Good night, Crunch.
He must have thought you said good light, Crunch. He's got a bunch of lights. Oh, Crunch. Say good night, Crunch, one more time in a calm and soothing voice.
Good night, Crunch.
Maybe you can lie down when you say it to show him how nice sleep is. You did it! He passed out immediately. We should probably let him sleep. If you wouldn't mind, please close this book very gently. All right. Oh, hope we didn't wake him up. I'm going to read one more. This is Deanie Dinosaur by Karen Beaumont. This is one of my favorite books to read. It rhymes and it just goes so quick. Green Willow Books. Deanie. Oh, he lives in a house. On a warm, sunny day in a prehistoric land, a dinosaur played in the mud and the sand. He filled up his bucket, then he dumped it on his head. "Oh my goodness, Deanie, you're a mess," his mama said. "You're going to need to take a bath before you go to bed." Dirty Deanie Dinosaur splashed in the tub. He tried to wash his feet with a scrub-a-dub-dub. "Silly Deanie Dinosaur, don't you know you have to take your shoes off?" Back you go. He had his shoes on. Dirty Deanie Dinosaur splashed in the tub. He tried to wash his legs with a scrub-a-dub-dub. "Silly Deanie Dinosaur, don't you know you have to take your pants off?" Back you go. I'm thinking he has all his clothes on. Let's see. Dirty Deanie Dinosaur splashed in the tub. He tried to wash his tummy with a scrub-a-dub-dub. "Silly Deanie Dinosaur, don't you know you have to take your shirt off?" Back you go. Does he have everything off? No. I see something. So, Dirty Deanie Dinosaur splashed in the tub. He tried to wash his head with a scrub-a-dub-dub. "Silly Deanie Dinosaur, don't you know you have to take your hat off?" Back you go. You were right. He still has his red hat on. Finally, Mama Dinosaur checked him head to toe. She looked him up and down and all around. "Oh no, you didn't wash behind your horns. You didn't scrub your back. There's soap still on your scales and your toenails are all black." Said Mama, "Don't you wiggle, all the suds will overflow." Little Deanie giggled 'cause it tickled him so. Mama read him stories, then she sang him lullabies. Soon little Deanie Dinosaur was closing his eyes. "I love you, my sweet Deanie, and I always will," she said. And then she hugged him and kissed him and tucked him into bed. "Good night, my little dinosaur," said Mama with a sigh. And soon they both were deep in sleep beneath a starry sky. There's that mud pit he got in. I like that. I think that's cute. Have you ever gotten in the bathtub with all your clothes on? I hope not. Okay, we're gonna do a flannel board next. This flannel board is 5 little dinosaurs went out to play. One little dinosaur went out to play on a giant fern one day. She had such enormous fun that she called for another dinosaur to come. And here we're going to say, "Oh, dinosaur!" And you slap your hands on your knees like they're coming running. And here he is. Woo! 2 little dinosaurs went out to play on a giant fern one day. They had such enormous fun that they called for another dinosaur to come. "Oh, dinosaur! Here I am. I'm here and I'm purple." 3 little dinosaurs went out to play on a giant fern one day. They had such enormous fun that they called for another dinosaur to come. "Oh, dinosaur, here you come. I'm here." How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little dinosaurs went out to play on a giant fern one day. They had such enormous fun that they called for a green dinosaur to come. "Oh, green dinosaur, where are you?" "Here I am." 5 little dinosaurs were out to play on a giant fern one day. They had such enormous fun that they played until the day was done. Bye, everybody. See ya. Have fun.